you should come right with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me sip water like a fish sip. I water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world a makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate, we need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it changes cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green. New car goes zoom, but it's quiet. You can hear me come and think I'm lying. If I said I'm perfect, I'd be lying. I can say I'm perfect, but I'm trying. I'ma give my all till I'm dying. I'm the new Captain Planet, here to make changes, not damage. World on my shoulders while I'm standing. I'm the new Captain Planet, here to make changes, not damage. World on my shoulders while I'm standing. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
What's up, Stray Gun? Had to turn my mic on for this particular screen. Welcome, everyone, to Late Night Crypto Charts with the Road Dog. Interesting look at the charts tonight, but before we begin, I just want to take a moment of silence for all the innocent people caught up on both sides of this whole Middle East crisis that we're in. Because it's the powers over them, overlording them, making these decisions. Some of them out of necessity. Some of them just for what seems to be pure evil intent. Just a moment to keep them in our prayers. Send them some love and positivity. It breaks my heart to see father and a mother with their child, a useless death that did not have to happen. Let's keep them in our hearts and minds as we move on with our lives. And let's not forget also, as we look at the damage done over there, because we have to consider the effects that this also has on our markets. It's sad, it's disgusting at the same time. There's a black swan on the thumbnail tonight. We've talked about it before. Possibility. I don't think necessarily that this was it, but I think it swings the gate wide open for it. Let's pause for a moment and think about our situation here in the US. Wide open borders. I don't think I need to say anything more. So if you ask me, can this situation escalate? Hell yes, it can. But it's times like this and moments like this that is what has encouraged me to move to Bitcoin, to move to crypto, to opt out of this crazy fiat system, money, power, domination that wants to run this world, which I think that we are evolving, or we should. The guidance is there on how to elevate ourselves, to evolve as humans, to realize that we're all children of God. We all have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and it doesn't have to be at the expense of others. Let's start this channel to give people a way to opt out of this rat race, of this tyranny, of this corporate slavery that we're being forced in. And that's for those of us who are too blind to see what's really going on, and the other ones who are actually experiencing it much worse than we are. Be grateful for what you have right now, because the people that we saw on the news, they don't have that. They've got it much worse than you do. So be grateful. And if you think your life sucks, well, it could always be worse. So not to start the stream off on a bummer note, but just had to get that out. All right, moving on to what we are here, whether you're tuning in live or later. My Mayman Stray guy sticking with me. What is Bitcoin gonna do? Well, I'm still overall kind of entertained in the thought of Bitcoin maybe come down to 26,849 after getting rejected up here in this area. That's just what I'm personally looking at. We're below the 9-moving average on the daily. That's what it's telling me. I mean, YouTube, for a little while over the weekend, thought we were looking extremely bullish, and I kept scratching my head saying, why? Why? I mean, long run, yeah, of course. But I don't want to get everybody hyped up that we're going 30,000. We can get there. It's coming. It's just not coming now. And I think some of those guys should have seen that a little clearer. Here is what I've noticed with some of the people that I've seen on YouTube. Now, a lot of them are good. A lot of them good charting crypto. Good analysis. There's lots of them that are good. Even on the bigger mainstreams. But some of them just don't get it when you break market structure. When you break that trend line, I don't care what little pattern you got coming in on this smaller time frame, you got to deal with that major break. And whatever pattern that we're doing here, well, if I see that in a symmetrical triangle, I'm thinking the symmetrical triangle definitely has a bigger chance to go to the downside after all this nonsense. I digress. So this is what we see on the 1 hour. We did break the trend line. We're coming down. We got a couple of little levels we can hit to help break our fall. But basically, overall, this is not a dump. This is merely a correction coming back to retest this trend line here that we broke out of so proudly just a few days ago, right? And it's got a 64% chance to do so. So I would say that's probably what it's trying to do, is come back at least to the price we broke out. That's the first place to look. Or come down and break this secondary trend, or touch this secondary trend for support. Worst case scenario is that we have to come down and ride this trend down to that would be sad. That would be sad. Could happen. May happen. It'll change if we get volume in the market. If we have people coming in actively pursuing Bitcoin, actively pursuing crypto, number go up, baby. Right now, we got a global freaking catastrophe going on that taking us by surprise, with obviously a much bigger agenda at hand. Wall Street's going to get terrified. We've already seen their paper hands anyway. First sign of trouble. Oh, let's dump it. I'm telling you. So, as much as we'd like to be, extremely bullish on everything, crypto may be suffering, and that's still in line with our 4-year cycle and everything going on. A little downplay. Personally, I think we're cool. We may get some good chances to buy Bitcoin cheaper with all the scared hands dumped out of it. It's the asset that you want to be in, even more so than your altcoins, in my personal opinion. And as the world gets crazier, it starts unveiling all of its shenanigans, I think we're going to see a lot more people start taking a serious look at Bitcoin and gold and silver. So what? Hey, welcome to the show, man. Regarding the attack on Israel, any thoughts about Casper? Let's move on to Casper. So I was just relaxing with a beer. There you go, my man. For some reason, I just felt the need to, I don't know, to mention that. It just, very sad. But I am not a news channel, I am a crypto channel. Caspa, baby, are you finally going to do what we talked about? Really, baby? So she's coming down to my juicy little buy box right here. Bless your little heart, Caspa. Yes, baby. So the real question is she going to bounce off of this trend line, or is it going to break and we're going to get some really good juicy levels out of this? Now, it's going to suck for the bag that we have right now. Don't get me wrong, it will. But keep in mind, is it a bearish pattern, man? It's had plenty of times to pull off the greatest run in history that you could get from this pattern. Not saying that that's totally out of the question. Not saying that at all. This one's a strong coin. But the typical probabilities are that this number come down. And I know it's hard to imagine that at the moment, back at 2 cents, it could happen. It could. What in the world could make that happen? Well, the world could go to crap for one thing. If the world goes to hell in a handbasket, the cycle will still continue. Bitcoin will still have less being generated from here on out, half of what is currently being generated, increasing that supply and demand. And that is the whole key to the whole 4-year cycle. That one thing alone, that will not change. It would take an act of consensus to make that change on this very decentralized protocol. So our clues here are that number go down. We're finding support here on the 366 currently, but it is mainly up to this trend line. So, you know, if we break below, what is that, 4.15 cents, if we start breaking below this line, and I'm not even convinced that my line is drawn as accurate on this particular time frame. No, that looks good there. Kind of dip below here. That's concerning. It could punch a little hole there. That could be the foreshadowing that, you know, this may be it. But that's the whole thing to what. I can't predict yay or nay on that. There's no bullish divergence forming here on this drop. Not immediate. Secondary, not really. That would have been a nice clue. Even some hidden divergence that will get a bounce to the upside there. Not yet seeing that. If I had to look here on the daily, it does. The daily says it's got a good chance of finding support here on the 50-moving average. If this is to continue upward, the swing will come here. It won't even come down to this bottom trend line, or it shouldn't. It should not close a candle there. We'll put it that way. Seeing us gather support here is on my Heikin-Ashi candles. Let's flip over to the real ones and see where our real price is. Real price is really close to it. Heikin-Ashi reads that a little bit different. So if this does confirm and we can come back and start regaining areas, it's a great place to bounce. If it can't, and these things continue, if we get a cross of this 9 over the 21, and we're probably coming down here to 3.2 cents, maybe 2.8 cents. Where my juicy buy orders are just sitting there waiting to snab up some more of this for a bigger bag. Not as a trade, but I've got this one as a long-term hold, so I'm especially eyeballing all these juicy levels. Don't have my orders put in here yet, but I do got some there, and hoping to get some down here and build me a big old bag of Casper. What I don't want to do is buy it at the top and watch my portfolio go down. So some possible scenarios that we could see that support not hold. Oh, come down here and then maybe come up for a little retesty test. Because I think this one's going to be a leg rider like we've seen a lot of these altcoins, especially as strong as it's been. I'm pretty sure if I was a betting man, I'd bet you would be leg rider, Casper. You just look like a leg riding type. She's no leg rider, she is. So leg rider is what I call it when it goes up. When instead of coming down after a retest, it just wants to kind of stay up there under that line and go up. And then maybe, you know, maybe we'll be looking at something like that, which is a reversal pattern. Maybe. We'll just have to see. The future is wide open for us. We can make good things happen. We can make bad things happen. We can see good things happen. We can see bad things happen. And often, whether they're good or bad, it's only up to our perceptions. Whoa, freaks me out when that music stops like that. Every time, gets me. Sir Casper. She's looking a little scary right now. It's not scary to me because I'm like, I'm starting to drool. I'm starting to get an appetite for you, baby. I'm like, come on, baby, said the spider to the fly. Come on down and see me. Bring those pretty wings down here. Let me take a closer look, Casper. I'm about to snag, man, some Casper if she ever gets down here again. Or here again. So what about GFL or Hello? They're killing the charts. GFL, Games for a Living, has been doing good. She's getting a little top right now. I think we discussed that lately. Still have this little juicy buy zone right here. I'm looking at the same thing for them. Basically a retest of this trend line that it broke out of because, yeah. GFL is trying to do something very special. She's trying to go parabolic on us, just like Caspa. Caspa hasn't pulled it off to break out above the pattern that it needs, but GFL has, this one right here. And when I take the extend that trend line, turn it into a dotted line, just to get the extremities, that's the area that we've been finding support on right now, indicating that it may hold, it may not hold. If it don't hold, well, I would expect to come back to this solid trend line and retest it because it has a good chance to do that. Now, will that break our parabola? It could. That could put the end to the party. It would be really impressive if it just wicks down here and then carries on. That would be the ideal situation for this parabolic move to continue, take us on well past 3.3 cents, probably well past 3.8 cents, honestly. The move that would come from this, if it were to pull this off, if you can do it, baby, surprise me. Get ready for it. It's a moonshot. Because this would be actually like a big elongated bull flag. Possibly up to 4 cents on this little girl. She like it. She want to do it. So let's go over here and let's mark this measure move and we'll call this crazy bull flag. Because it is crazy, because it really looks like it's setting up for a head and shoulders. What? A head and shoulders? It potentially looks like it could be doing a slanted head and shoulders here. Because that does look like a juicy neckline right there. The only thing is, they don't play out as well as the ones that go a little bit more horizontal. It just kind of leads to my theory that we can duck down here to 2.2 cents and still be okay as long as we don't cross this yellow line here. So we just need to get a second opinion right here. We shall appeal to the larger time frame because the larger time frame is the boss. And by that larger time frame, I'm going to say the 3-day. 3-day says this little guy can definitely come back to meet this 21-day moving average or 3-day moving average, 2.2 cents. Daily says we are under both the 9 and the 21, with the 9 being rejected under the 21. So it's also suggesting that we're coming back to at least 2.2 cents. So immediate future, that is what I see. From there, we'll have to see what she does because she's getting dangerously close to this Ichimoku green cloud, which will just suck us in like a dark black hole and spit us out down here on this trend line. And that might ruin our Black Panther party. Meaning we may not see those big old prices. Here's what you don't want to see. You don't want to come back below this trend line right here. This one right here. If you break below it, we're probably looking at least penny and a half, at least, but possibly even lower. Don't want to see that. So right now she's holding her ground well, but I do see a retracement. First might be a juicy buy place. It's risky though, because that green cloud's saying, hey, I can't help myself. You look kind of yummy. I might want to swallow you up. What else did we have here? We had hello. So I'm pretty sure I've got a little bag of GFL. I know I've got a little bag of hello. I've had my eye on this one for a while, actually. I think it was Donna, who was an admin in our group, that brought this to my attention. And she had a knack for finding the gem picks. I miss old Donna. hopefully we will see her back soon. So gains for a living, when we looked at it, well, we lost a level. It's not entirely bad though. It's, you know, still been bullish. Keep making higher highs and higher lows, right? Just haven't. And now we made a higher high than this one. So technically we're still good. It's just one of those examples where we're on one level, then we drop a level. We just keep moving up. Moving average is still looking kind of juicy on there. Looking for some bearish divergence. I'm not seeing anything that's going to scare me away from this guy. Not on the daily. I do want to go to the 3-day. I mean, there's some red dot, green dot indecision going on here, but overall, it's just got to catch his breath after making that big old move. You can understand, can't you? I mean, he had to break through this wall and couldn't quite make it all the way, put all this energy into it. We got rejected there, so would have been extremely bullish to reclaim this level. Would have. But we don't have to be that bullish to keep going up. We just kind of go up a little bit slower. So I'm looking for the possibility of still going up, but you got to keep in mind the possibility and watch closely on the larger time frames for some kind of bearish divergence form that may be forming between this peak and whatever this peak tops out as for a candle close. So I can't really call that yet. Right now it's fine. So me personally, this thing is set for some more upside. You can definitely expect a retracement. And I've got a 618 retracement right there at the 9 moving average, about 5.7 cents. But this little area right here where the 21's coming in and this last point of support there, that's a pretty key area, flipping that from support to resistance. It was support back here, it was resistance here. It's going to come back and make sure that it can stand there. So definitely look for 5.3 cents to come back into the picture. It's got to do it. Whether it does it now or it comes back here later, it's got to make sure we got a good step there. In my personal opinion, because this 100 moving average is not caught onto the program yet, it's still in bearish territory. The other ones are cool though. They'll drag it up eventually. Then we may have to come back here and meet it and commence it. So if I had to guess, I would say by the time that this 100 moving average touches there, we'll probably be touching it right around the same time. That does not appear to be today or tomorrow. 4 hour looks like she wants to do a little bit more. I think she wants to try to break in that. You gonna take another run at that, girl? Oh, bless your little heart. You give the good old college try there. She gonna try to do it. She won't take no for an answer. Maybe if you do it, oh, it's on. If you do it, it is on. I will cheer you on, baby. I will. Hello. Had to look back and see which one I got. Right now, you got to break above this trend line, though. 6.8. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, we gotta start getting up to 7 cents again. You gotta run hard. You gotta put it up. I mean, you know, you cheat. Yeah, that's it. Use some steroids. I won't tell. I'll look the other way. Go ahead. Inject yourself. I do not condone. I'm not condoning anything. This was not health advice or financial advice, but she wants to make a run for it, and she's doing it right now on the 1 hour. I think she's doing it right now. Live on the Road Dog Show. She's breaking out right now. And she's got a little volume there. We're going to watch it unfold live here on the show. Money flow coming to the upside. Stochastics up there, pinned to the top where they can be, and just ride this baby up. It's when they start coming down, we got to be concerned, right? They just flatline at the top. That's cool. Can't depend on them for nothing else other than when they start to come down from this point on. Got to lean a little bit more to the RSI, which is kind of high on the 3 minute, but she still wants to make that run. She's got to get a candle close above here, man. Come on, 1 minute. Can you give me a candle close above it on the 1 minute? Can I get an amen? Can I get a nickel? Can I get 5 cents? Can I get 7.3? Can I get 7.3? Can we do it? She's wanting to try, man. Breakout on hello. You have seen that live news right there on the Low Dog Crypto Show. She's broken out. She has tried to get past 7.3 cents, but she just can't seem to do it yet. Will she break through? News at 11. Hey, Leandro is here. What's up, Leandro? My original OG. Striga says, I saw X. Oh, is that Tezos? Tezos went up today? I mean, just got a heartbeat after all. XTZ. Why don't I have more exchanges than this? Tezos used to be everywhere, man. This is Tezos, right? It's Tezos. All types. Now, excuse my alarm while I go looking on this. Tezos was a very popular coin back in the day. This guy, right? No, that's McC. McC, do you have Tezos? Okay, it just wasn't showing up. That should be everywhere, man. Tezos should be everywhere. It just wasn't showing up there. For a chart, I guess we're going with this one, since I have so many choices to go with. What? Something's just not right here. Making sure I'm not in an alternate reality here where XTZ, I knew you was on Binance. Oh, what happened? I'm a crazy, man. I want to go with Binance over here. Because Coinbase has the euro and Bitcoin and the British pound. And here on the 1 minute, Tezos is hanging in there. Oh, she had a nice little pump up to the 100 today. Well, she needed to do something. Make sure that you still got a heartbeat there, Tezos. I thought you was dead. We thought you was a toad. Jeez. I haven't looked at this thing in a long time. We're looking at a falling wedge before. Possible. And it did get a little breakout and then it erode it. Or did it not? I don't know. I had a measure move. Obviously looking at this as a falling wedge, which are you? Still? Was okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're a leg rider. Gosh darn leg riders, man. That's disappointing when it comes to a falling wedge, because usually you don't get this out of a falling wedge. Usually, you know, falling wedges. Actually, they don't usually break out that early, so that might be a warning sign when you see it happen. Just keep that on your radar, that it may still play with us. They usually break out about 75% of the way into the pattern, so that means if I were to extend this little baby out, and believe me, they can go a lot further than you think. Divide this up into little sections that it should have probably came all the way down here before breaking out. There's abouts. But instead it broke out earlier and just rode it down. Technically, I guess considering your options, that's probably the best choice to go with. Just kind of making a more of a bottom here. Which is just another wedge. So basically, this is just rounding out and is technically accumulation. 72 cents for Tezos, not bad. Not bad at all. 69 cents is, what was the lowest it got? About 60? 60 is pretty good. I would probably be tempted for 60s, even though I don't want any more Tezos. I did have some over at KuCoin, but after the migration, I saw, why do I want to get back into this coin? Not saying anything against it. If you love this coin, you know, more power to you. That's just, I think you got some faster horses. This horse kind of has a little bit of a... I'll be there. Hold on. Don't go too fast. Let me catch up. She takes a little while to get there. But it has been a nice project to have. I'm not looking at any of that. Oh man, I can't erase it now, can I? Somebody weren't really happy with some lines, looks like. If it doesn't help in the current situation, that one might. I haven't looked at this in ages. I mean, that measurement was taken, I think it was last year, probably a year ago when I last looked at Tezos. And we still ain't hit that target. That's the target. Now we can put the target. We put the target down here, but since we got a 618, let's just stick with that. So maybe one of these days we'll get back up to $1.48, maybe up to $1.55 according to this relocated measure move. So when they do this, you know, you're supposed to put the measure move where they break out. Does that make it invalid? No, it makes this price is still valid, but I also find that you can also get results by putting wherever it does a retest. So, you know, try it out. See how that works for you. That's how you get better at this stuff. Leandro Lane, can you have a look at DOT? Oh, BTC pair. Yummy. BTC pair. See, Lando's looking about building some BTC with altcoins. He's taking the OG approach there that I absolutely love. All right, so first of all, we're just going to take a quick look on the dollar, see what price. We're down to 385 on DOT. Bless your heart, man. Oh, are you going to come? Are you really seriously going to come down and to 326? For real? It could. It could. It's an accumulation. It's a slight rounding, but these are some areas that it may come down to. And dare I say, man, ooh, possibility, but not promising. But if it does come down to $2.78, or is pushed down that for whatever reason, you got money on the back burner, you know we can get back up to $4. I'm just saying. That could give you... Maybe instead of watching DOT just kind of hang in these areas and do not much beneath that, maybe you actually get in there and start to, ooh, got a profit for a change. I don't know. I like DOT. I have DOT. I'm very pleased with DOT building my bag because the staking rewards have been cool. So looking at DOT against Bitcoin. So I need the DOT BTC pair. Binance has probably got the most history of them all when it comes to this. So we're talking about falling wedges, and now they should break out 75% of the way in. And this little puppy is the anomaly. Has not done that. So one word of caution, not to scare anybody, but it does need to be talked about. Remember how rising wedges go parabolically when they break to the upside because they break out the wrong way? Falling wedges will do that same thing. I don't see how this could go much further, but I'm just putting that out there. It could. Actually, this one's got, when you extend the trend lines, it's got a lot of wiggle room from where it can come in Bitcoin. Honestly, I would not be surprised for this area that we got in 2020 to be retested. I think that's worth marking for the Bitcoin pair. So buying DOT with Bitcoin at that area, should it come back to, what is that? 1,263 Satoshis in that area? I'll definitely consider it. Currently, it's sitting at 300 or 1,394 Satoshis per DOT. So we could lose a little. Could. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen. We'll look on some. I'm on the weekly time frame, by the way. Now, are there any great signs here where our stochastics are flattened out? But last time they're flattened out, see, we still got downside. So being flat doesn't mean anything. It's when they start turning up that kind of helps. And if you don't see much movement when they start working their way up, well, get ready for a little bit more downside. I'm not saying that that's happening at the moment, but she has been struggling for a while. I'm not seeing any relief on the weekly. I'm not seeing anything on the 3-day. I think she's coming down to retest this trend line again. So BTC, I got these three little juicy areas. I'm looking for this area to hold 1260, what was 1263, 1264, that area. But I do have these other two targets at 942 Satoshis and 1,094 Satoshis. This is where I thought it was a great bargain. Apparently, it sees that there's more bargain prices because we lost that whole level. It had a good opportunity to kind of double bottom here and break out. It didn't, and there's no guarantees that it would. But at least if you were trading, you had an idea where to put your stop losses under, you know, where it found support. There's a little bit of divergence forming, but I still see some more downside in the shorter term on it. I think we're going to see some downside on a lot of these altcoins, though. And especially when it comes to Bitcoin, with Bitcoin dominance just being so up there. But right here is interesting. From this bullish pattern that we broke up to and then came back to retest. I consider it a failed pattern. If you come down below where you break out, I consider that a failed pattern. And just kept on coming down, but the support line has been holding, so I find that very interesting. So we are still on this area of support. If it can start going sideways instead of riding this one down, that would be hopeful. That would be a first thing to look for. But I really need to see it get above the 9 moving average on the 4 hour to start looking at it more bullishly. And even then, you got to watch it close. We want to start moving up from the 9 to the 21. Definitely get above the 50 and the 100. So it may take a little while, but when it does, I think this will be rewarding. I'm not selling my dot. One hit a quitter. What is up? Very creative and entertaining way to do TA. Well, hey, welcome to the show, man. First time watching? Hey. If you don't mind, I have a little guy here that's he's asking for just a little tiny favor. He does like to show his face every once in a while. Whenever his button graces my little stream deck. And it's a... For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Hitting that like button would definitely help my channel out. Because this is a late night stream. This ain't when nobody's on, baby. Hey, people ain't lining up to see the road dog up this late. They're saying, man, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, I am. Oh, there's my Elvis voice. One hit a quit. I like that name. That's cool. Leandro says, I'm waiting for DOT to get to around, 1370. It's got a good chance. It's got a good chance to hit that pretty soon, though. So that would line up with this this trend line that we're looking at, right? Yeah, that falls right in line with it. And yeah. See, this is 2 hour time frame. In the shorter term time frames where you can get that, follow that support resistance flip that we got from here to here. It's not showing up on this particular time. It'll vary when you change the time frames. Your lines will change a little bit, just adjust a little. But following that trend line, I think will help you out a lot. And if the trend line looks like it doesn't hold, like it starts coming down, well, do expect the bottom of this one to hit. Could see those lower prices then. Hopefully the things will turn around a little bit. Strega says SoFi is really trying to spike. I think we just looked at that last night, right? Right Finance. Oh, this one doesn't give me volume. So that chart was on TradingView, and apparently they got one. And I like their charts. They'll give you all the data, but all the history, price history, but they don't give you the volume because, well, they're not an exchange. That volume's got some clues to it, you know? So there's tons of volume with it over here, and now with all this price action, wow, that's interesting. Looks like they're having fun with this. Is this, does a pump and dump group have this and playing around with it or something? I mean, that's just kind of weird with these big spikes up to there. When all the real, it's like they accumulated all through here just so they can play out. I don't know what's going on with this. That's interesting. She is rising up. Which there's a lot of noise in this chart though. So I'm looking for a head and shoulders, see if there's possibly one there. There wouldn't be because we got that big spike. That would kill a neckline. There, maybe a smaller one. I don't know. Not that it needs to have a head and shoulders at all. It's an accumulation zone right here. So this whole little zone. And in my personal opinion, how I'm reading this chart, I think that this whole zone here is a yummy accumulation zone. And I just think these areas up here are just a yummy place to put limit orders and hope you catch the nice little pump and dump that they're doing here. Because they like to just pump it from 6 cents to 2 cents or 2 cents to 6 cents. There's a nice little game to play here, man. You know, sometimes whales get bored. I don't know that that's what's going on with this coin at all, but you can definitely get some trades in on it. Especially if you can get in under 3 cents. Such, yeah, I think we talked about this last night. Yes, those limit orders, but on the short term, it looks like she's making some headway. I don't know if she's getting ready to pump up some godly amount, though. It looks like those pumps come from way down here. Surprise, surprise. Both of those came from down in those bottom territories. Pretty much on the one candle. And all the other ones just kind of in nowhere land. But 3 cents, I mean, there's still a move. I mean, there's still a good move there. But if I were looking for a spike, I would kind of be looking for something similar to repeat there, where it, you know, tried to make a run up, got rejected, and then it looks like it comes down to these areas, these little areas. Run up, got rejected, came back down there, out of the blue. Yeah, Striga says market looks angry. Leandro says, thanks, Lane. No problem, Leandro. My original OG right there. Marco Shin, man. How you doing? One hit a quitter, man. I like that name. That is cool. All right, let's take a look at, we haven't looked at Tenet. Striga, was it you that brought up Tenet? Someone brought up Tenet. As a project, this one looked, seems like this one was interesting to me. So apparently I did a trade setup, but now I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I would do that if we lost the support line. Hey, for a retest. Okay, I see. Okay, that's what it was. Talked about the possibility of there being a retest up to, well, either here or, well, you got a target way up here, though. That does not make any sense. That's a major move. Why would you do it? This is, I mean, the risk to reward ratio looks juicy, but the probability of it hitting up there after breaking this trend line, I can definitely see the retest. And that gives you a mediocre 1 to 3, 3 to 1 ratio. Was I smoking crack that night? Was I smoking crack in the live stream that night when I put this straight? Was I? Did anybody see me? I don't smoke crack, but I gotta wonder if I... What? Okay. Clearly, I gotta do some damage control. If I can't remember what I said about this. For Tenet, man, you setting yourself up for a perfect head and shoulders is what I see playing out right now. Breaking that, this, if it's going to go up, I see it doing a retest. Possible up here. Kind of what I'm expecting out, you know, may happen out of Bitcoin too. Why would I had a really tight stop on that, so I must have had a game plan. I think the trade setup I was given, I'm gonna have to start putting notes on this because that's a risky trade setup. You can buy here, you can have a tight stop loss if you're big on this project. This is tenant, but it's highly likely to get rejected right up here, especially where these moving averages are crossing. So I don't see that as being a great long. However, it looks like you can get a good little short setup. So I think that's really what y'all be looking at. I think this would be more of the probability of being the most successful play here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So if you can get in somewhere on 14.2 cents, yeah, you can put a stop loss back up here. You can put a nice tight one somewhere just 3. What have I got there? 3.6 cents coming in about. If we break into this trend line, man, this, you know, you're notified. You catch a reversal. Catch it where it comes up here and starts coming down. Jump in, put a stop loss above it. The project looked cool though for a long-term hold. I remember seeing that. I remember thinking that. But this might be a bigger play here. Just my thoughts. But anyway, it just coming back to retest this area to confirm a head and shoulder, possible head and shoulders. That'd be a 4-to-1 risk ratio. That's better than risking it to do a retest. They don't always get a retest. It's about a 60% chance, somewhere right through there for most of these things. And unless I'm sure that was probably the... Oh, I know my logic. Okay, I remember now. I had to paint my bigger timeline. Symmetrical triangle. That was my argument. That yeah, these little guys. You can't trust these guys. Cannot. They did the rabbit run. So that was the basis of my understanding. That's why I had the long. Because it was talking when I talk about these, you don't know what a symmetrical triangle is going to do. It can come down here. It can flip flop. It can come right back up here. You're looking for a head and shoulders to form here. It could be doing a head and shoulders, an inverted head and shoulders going that way. A lot of times these guys just end up ranging out. They are not a pattern that I normally like to trade at all, but now at least it makes sense. I need to put something there. I don't know why I chose to go over this coin. It was actually looking kind of bullish. It's got some cool features about it. We'll have to talk about it a little bit more in depth sometime. We'll need a quit assist. Thank you, man. Hey, my pleasure. Been following Joy Stream and she's starting to get the... Oh, she broke her parabola. I told you, man, whenever I draw those lines, I can bring these prices down. You want me to bring your altcoin down? You just tell me where to chart it. Let me draw a parabola line on it. That will curse it, man. That's the voodoo face. It does that. I'm telling you, I got the power to kill the price action. As soon as I declare that it is trying to go parabolic, it will cease. I got the power. I am the Bear Whisperer. So she's finally calming down just a little bit. I was hoping we'd get up to 5 stages out of this. Not so much looking at that at the moment anymore. Since this rising wedge got us, we didn't have enough to break to the upside of it, and it happens, it's fine. Are we in danger of coming down to down and sideways? Not quite yet, no. Parabola's gone. Let's go ahead and get that little sucker out of the way. Now we got to look at our, well, basically where we were before. So JoyStream, now it's safe to say that we are in a retest, possible retest of a rising channel, and this is a bear sign. We've already wicked through that, so 2 times. The chances of it holding us are starting to become a little bit slim, but hey, miracles can happen. Not that it would be a miracle, but I mean, looky here. We broke this one too. And I mean, the hopium is to kind of bounce around here sideways. It's not like we want to take off to these crazy prices that we were looking at before. After doing that, the thing to watch for is the possibility of breaking back into this pattern and coming down here. And if it does that, if we break back to this pattern, there's a good chance that it may break to the downside of this pattern. Just for pure meanness. So currently we are finding we lost the 382. Okay, so that means we can't regain this area at 3.6 cents. Then yeah, look for the 618 to get hit 2.7 cents on Joystream. And to me, that would be some juicy buy areas because I think this one's got some potential. And I don't mind buying this, so should have some strong support here. Just under 2 cents. Hopefully it will not see those lows again, but if it does, it's a nice little opportunity there. And then we've also got this area just right at 3 cents, which could technically be, well, that is a support resistance flip. Although that wick below it just kind of makes me a little not as trusting of it. So those are the two main areas I'd be looking for, just under 3 cents and just a little under 2 cents. If you're trying to add this to your bag or add this to a long-term strategy, that is on the daily. Let's come down and check the 4-hour just to compare some of these ideas. Found support on the 200, but man, so far our 3 larger moving averages are still so far doing good. Well, the 100 and 200 mostly. The 50 starting to curve down, the 21, and those are the quicker flip-floppy moving averages that will just run circles around all these bigger ones. The bigger ones have all the weight and all the major say that. Yeah, probably a retest, and it could possibly do a head and shoulders type thing going on here too. Give us more downside. Something I'm looking at there. So more juicy prices probably in store for Joystream, and to be honest with you, probably a lot of the altcoins. Did we look at this tonight? Have we looked at the indices? The deal that's going on is that Bitcoin dominance is starting just to get O'Reilly and crazy. Broke to the downside, but then came back up. It did a flip-flop on the... It should have broke down anyway, right? And then it got back into the pattern and started going up. What's up, Bitcoin dominant? People are starting to want Bitcoin right now. Over here is total 2, total 3. This is our altcoins right over here where my little cursor is. Top right-hand screen. They're selling out of altcoins. They're going into Bitcoin. People are selling their altcoins, going into Bitcoin. There's uncertainty in the market right now. People are scared, wanting something a little more stable. They're turning over to Bitcoin dominance. So they are seeing, God bless you, honey, you think the dollar is more stable than your altcoins. When you really took at the bigger picture, even as crappy as some of these altcoins are, in the long run, I think they all, even the crappiest of them, still have a potential of outperforming the dollar. I'm talking about you, Jared, from Subway, Enu Coin. As long as you're out there and somebody's still willing to buy you, eventually you're going to be worth more than the paper dollar. People are feeling safer into the dollar, although the dollar index is coming down. We're expecting the dollar's power to decline a little bit. Looking at the legacy market, I think that some of the bonds are acting very interesting. Some of the shorter term bonds, meaning that you keep your money in short term, make more money short term than you do long term. They got it flip-flopped on us. They're trying to suck liquidity out of the market. People turning to Bitcoin, clearly. People getting out of the altcoins, clearly. We talked about that possibility last night. I did not expect it to be this extreme. So much today, that's pretty harsh. Altcoins will suffer. But that gives you some opportunities And as we talked about last night, a DCA strategy in the projects that you really truly believe in. Nibbling over in them the next few months. It'll be a life-changing thing. Just don't spend all your money in one place, baby. Said the pot to the kettle. Loki Toshi, hey man, haven't seen you guys in a while. I have got to pull up Dex tools. Out of all the things that I remember, 403C being as the last digits of that contract still are in my head. All right. We're going to be taking a look here at whoops, I got to get over to Dex tools. Loki safe move. So give me a second here just to pull this up. So last time we looked at this, it was starting to look a little bit more promising. It had come down a little lower than what I initially looked at, what my initial buy zone was. And so I bought a little more. Because I think we were looking somewhere in these. It may have been up here. I don't know. Last time we were looking at it, we drew this line here, and it is above where we were looking at it the last time. So we were doing a. Yeah, we're talking about the possibility of trade setup at these juicy bottom levels here. Now, Loki Safe Moon is a meme coin, but I do think that they got some special features which I couldn't detail you with. Loki Koshi could probably spell those out a little bit better. But we're looking at this following pattern here, which did get his breakout, and I don't think that was the retest officially. It was a retest of the breakout price, so that's kind of a strong sign for me. It didn't actually have to come down to retest the trend line. It just came down and retest the breakout price of that trend line. It's been just gradually going up there. So nothing has changed as far as my targets. I'm still looking for this area right here, about that's 10 zeros and 42.98. That's about 118% return on buying it at this higher price, which was high at that time. I think we talked about it. If I won't in, it's about equivalent to the breakout price here, and breakout price is about 18.29. Now there is a possibility that it will come back and retest that price. It can happen. Not saying that it would. It did actually look like it got a retest earlier. Maybe not. But if I had to look at my moving averages, they're looking up nicely. We don't have a 200 moving average on here yet. This is a relatively thing. I'm on a 12-hour chart. We couldn't even look at it. We were looking on 1 hours before. So we got some good price history now. All right, so this is the deal you got going on with the price history. I mean, we're talking about the channels and everything, but you've got a double bottom scenario here, okay? So that alone is a pattern that can give you a target. The measure move here to the breakout point. Whoops, what did I do there? Don't want to move that line. So here's another potential target at all those zeros in 37.34. See if I can make a line there. So short term, that would be a good target to look for. We're struggling getting above this area at 24.39, and that's where we're finding some strong resistance. Moving averages suggest that it can make it up. They're lining up nice. You got the 200, you got the 100. There's in order, the 50, the 21, the 9. So here's the deal. If you're actually truly on an upward, I want to move that. I need to lock that thing in place. If you're truly on an upward move, you will retest off of these two. Every once in a while, bouncing off the 50. Those are the ones you got to watch it closer when it comes close to the 50. Make sure that holds. But otherwise, you're going to see them get above the 9. Hopefully it stays above the 9. That would be extremely bullish for more upturn, more upward action. But if falling back to the 21 is kind of normal, so I'm not seeing anything bad there. It's just higher highs and higher lows. That's what we want to see. And it can pull all the way back down to this trend line and still keep going. Now overall, it does need to make a little bit more headway. It'd be nice if it does get above this area. What is that? 2738. This last area that we had back here needs to flip that for support for some more upward action. Otherwise, you're making a bearish pattern, which will just drop us back down to definitely this breakout area that we talked about earlier. What was that, about 1660, somewhere through there? So I'd have to say that if I had to pick a juicy buy zone for it now, it would most likely be this retest area. But a very possible double bottom, and it will be confirmed as soon as price gets above it and flips that to support. And then eventually coming up to these areas right up here, 5980, which that. And I still have my Floki Inu, or my, I'm sorry, I still have my Floki Safe Moon sitting on my trust wallet. I guess I got that locked in, didn't I? Trying to see what the percentage is up here. That's a 220% move up there. Overall, we had a big run up. We're coming down. We're in accumulation zone, and then eventually we'll start getting back up to retest these areas. And now getting back up here to this area about 9 zeros and 1223. It's kind of looking at it, and that's up to that's a 5 to 6x just getting back to those areas. Lokitoshi says Bollinger Bands. Let's turn on the Bollinger Bands here. How are we looking on Bollinger Bands? I'm a little slow checking the chat once I start looking at the charts. Bollinger Bands look nice. So we're bouncing off the middle area there. Can we pull this up? Make this bigger. So I like Bollinger Bands myself. So what you want to look for Bollinger Bands is for the testing of this. The line is on this red one, and it's also the orange. It's the 20 moving average. And what you'll usually see with price is that, you know, we come up to a high, and if we can still find support there at that line, we got a chance to go back up to the high again. Now, if we lose this and start candle closing there, then it usually always comes down to the bottom part. So it's like a dance with this middle line when you use the Bollinger Band strategy. And it's showing some signs that it's got support here, that it could continue back up to the top of the band is what I'm seeing. You just have to watch it closer on some of the smaller time frames. See what's going on. And it'll be different with the whatever time frame that you're on. Larger Bollinger Band suggests that there's a possibility it could come down to 2050. Possible. It is. And that's where you gotta kind of balance your Bollinger Bands with your other, like your moving averages and things like that. But very cool. Marco says, LOL, Jared Subway, and you keep it in your pants. Man, I put $5. I was just curious what this Jared coin would do. I put $5 into it, and I think it's like worth less than $1 now. So overall, Floki Safe Moon, it's making higher highs and higher lows, so that's what we want to see out of it. So I think that's a good move. Stringer says, I forgot to get that. I think it's because of the BNB chain. Yeah, it is over on BNB. No problem, Patoki Shochi. Thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you. Good luck with your project, too. So, well, speaking of BNB chain, man, there's been getting really hit, right? Even cake has been getting hit. That does not look good for cake. CZ just got this big old target on his back, man. To me, I think he's got the most integrity out of most of them. I mean, I like the way he carries himself. I don't know everything about the man, but I do like the way he carries himself, and he seems to be an honorable guy. I respect that. Much more honorable than the people trying to attack him so hard, like Gary Gensler. Some of the big Wall Street money places. Working behind the scenes, whatever. I was late to the stream, just catching up. Okay, I brought up Tenet when we charted it. It was above the trend line around 1820 and fell through trend. Yeah, Marco, okay, you brought it up. You turned me on to that, and I'm starting to look at it more. I mean, the price action may not be all that great on it right now, but I think the project was, it made me write it down, man. So I saw something in it. Sometimes I have to go back and relook. I don't think I'm in on this one yet, though. I haven't made a buy on it yet. I don't look at the project itself again. I just know when I look at it, the first thing that comes to my mind is that stock or whatever, that Chinese company, Tencent. I don't know why. But totally not the same thing at all. This has got 1.2 billion. Okay, I remember that. And most of those, no, most of those are not in circulation. There's still a lot that can come out, but we got a $1.2 billion coin, and if it has a good use case, which I'm pretty sure this one does, or I wouldn't have it on the back of my mind. I mean, you can look several dollars out of this. So it's got great potential to 10 to 100x. And if I'm understanding it, if I remember, okay, this one was, they're their own chain, right? Build the most secure blockchain supported by, the LSDs, I remember, because we were, yeah. Oh, yeah. The liquid staking derivative, yes. This is the one that I think that some bigger players would be interested in. Liquid staking derivatives. I think those ones got some, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that's why I put you on the list. I think this is one to put on your list. Do a deep dive into it. Like I said, I'm not in it yet, but I want to watch this one. It looks very, very interesting to me. The partners, institutional partners, you say that they have their own. Institutional partners play a key role in liquidity. Anchor's in on there, Layer Zero, Maverick, some unrevealed. Starting to get the yawns now, but it looked very interesting, and for it to have the market cap on it is what, 16 million, tiny market cap right now. Perfect 10 cents right now. Tenet is 10 cents, so I think it's a good deal. Let's see, its all-time high was 4 months ago. It got 27. So this, for a long-term play, I think this one's one to look at. Even though the chart looks kind of, let's take another look at the chart. Now we kind of familiarize ourselves with the protocol and what it is, and see that it does have something of value, right? I'm going to take this trade off. But it's an unreliable pattern to me, and just retesting, I think this area here is interesting. I mean, that's valid there. I'm not a fan of these triangles. I'm just not. And there's several different ways to actually kind of look at it. 5.13 cents. See that as being possible. See if we can get a little confidence for that little measured move. We're on the daily. That was... The problem I'm having, I don't know what we open or close? What we open with? We opened in 11. 9. Okay, so we went top. Okay, there we go. Makes more sense now. There we go. I had to see if we opened. I was pulling the fib the wrong way, and so it opened to close. So I pulled swing low, swing high. And now we can see we're perfectly getting rejected off the 618. Finding support on the 786. Possibility to drop down to the 886. I would keep that in mind. Could wick down if it does. Juicy buy zone. Got a little bit of confidence there with the measure move coming in below the 886. So if I had to say to find a really juicy price, try to get this, where she may dip down to 5 cents to 7.4. 6.8 cents is the actual Fibonacci level, the 886. Oh, I guess we're on the blues now. And to me, this is just an accumulation. And these would be some juicy prices. I'm telling you, anywhere under where it is now, 10 cents, anywhere under there, I think is juicy for this. And this guy had spiked up to 40 cents. A coin with a total supply of 1.2 billion has a good use case. I mean, it is not unrealistic at all to see this thing get to $5. You've got a pretty good range depending on, I mean, you could see 10, you could see up to $20 on this. Just depending on the hype and the value that it brings, and it looked very interesting. But I'm saying the $5 would be, that's pretty much, that's kind of a conservative target for a bull run, and that would be a great target. I'm being very low for what its tokenomics could actually do. Stringer says, get a wheat pair, Floki Toshi. Alright. Call it Floki Toshi. Floki safe half moon. Bobby C, can you look at Caspa? We've looked at it earlier, but I'm not doing anything. I don't mind looking at it again. We looked at Tenet twice. Take a quick look here. It's a popular coin. So to me, we broke it down that it's likely getting support here at the 50 moving average in this juicy little buy area. You're still flirting with a very real possibility of this pattern breaking overall, because this is a bearish, is a rising wedge, and they usually went out breaking to the downside, unless they frequently break to the upside. But now this one's had several chances to do it, and all it's done is just get stuck in my short zone, which for the people that are shorting this, those were the juicy areas to get into it. So it's starting to look a little bit doubtful that we'll pull off that big parabolic move, but not totally out of the question just yet. We just got to watch it. What we don't want to see is for it to break this bottom trend line. If we see it lose this 100 moving average, it's just coming down. This pattern is going to play out, and you can easily see this number. I got 3 juicy buy zones. I'm looking for it to pull between under 3 cents and just a little over 3 cents, but that's a shallow move. The much deeper move would be back to around 1.5 to 2 cents if this pattern comes to the downside. Now she's still trying to be bullish overall. Like when we come to the 3-day, where we look at 3-day wants to bring it down actually, but is it down in a correction or down in a rejection? I'm still seeing us hold on the 3-day chart now. These moving averages are different ones, but they kind of coincide with what we talked about earlier. Same area. Right here, about 4.2, 4.3 cents. If that holds, and these lines, the 9 does not cross over that 21, the green does not cross over the red line, we get a chance to stay in this triangle. And if we keep staying in this triangle, well, it gives us a little bit more hope that we can actually break to the upside of this triangle, which would go crazy. A lot of eyes on this coin. So I'm not seeing, I guess I'm not seeing what I would need to see to be bearish on this yet. Full bearish, like get out and buy it. Get out and buy it cheaper, or, you know, hold on and ride the roller coaster down, because it can definitely happen. But those signs aren't manifest just yet. But overall, that's what the pattern should do. It should break to the downside. It's just a really, really strong coin. It does not want to do it. The other possibility we may see play out, and that I mentioned, was, you know, we maybe break to the downside, retest, because they do retest a lot, and it'll ride its leg up a little bit, end up making a head and shoulders, and then that's how we would see these lower price actions, price targets come into play if the scenario plays out. Not saying that it definitely will. Just say keep an eye out. Trade around it. Make it work to your advantage if you start seeing the possibilities play out. That's what's going to take us down to about 1.1 cents. And it may not be any fault of Caspit's own. It may just be a scared market and a scared global condition that makes a lot of people get fearful and sell. So if you get prepared for those possibilities, well, some people only want to hear that it's going to the moon. Yeah, we can break out to the upside. Yeah. Well, the reality is, man, we can also come right down here. And if you're ready for it, it could be one of the best opportunities this bull market to build your bag of Caspa. And it may happen. Bobby says, I'm hoping we get a nice drop so I can stack more. Me too, secretly. Because I didn't get in at these juicy low prices. I'm wanting Naka, I'm wanting Caspa, and a few others at some good low juicy prices. Bobby says, thanks for the analysis. I appreciate that. All right, guys, it is now 12 o'clock. And that means I've been on here for an hour. And that's usually about as long as anybody wants to click on and watch the live stream. So I'm going to bid you guys thank you very much for being here. If you can, hit the like button. And we'll try to be back again tomorrow night. I was hoping to do a daytime stream, but I think I have some kind of meeting or appointment or something tomorrow. So that's gone. But I may surprise you. But until then, man, just trade carefully. Be grateful for everything you have, man, because life could be a lot worse. And I'm glad you're in crypto, because it shows that you got sense to realize that things could be worse. And this may be our way out. Till then, man, be safe. See you tomorrow night. Be blessed.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Show you like my vibe, pass my candy on my wrist. Bad habits, little rabbit. Now sit down, you can.
Good night, John boy.